Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha Harihi Om Gananaham Tva Ganapatigum Havamahe Kavim Kavinam Upamastravastamam Jeshtarajam Brahmanam Brahmanaspata Anas Srinvan Utibhitti Dasadanam Prano Devi Saraswati Vajebhirvajinivati Dhinama Vitrayavatu Ganesaya Namaha Saraswatyai Namaha Shri Gurubhyo Namaha Harihi Om Sumukascha Ekadantascha Kapilo Gajakarnakaha Lambodharascha Vikato Vignarajo Vinayakaha Dhumaketur Ganadhyakshaha Palachandro Gajananaha Vakratundaha Surpakarno Hirambaha Skandapurvajaha Shuklam Baradharam Vishnum Sasivarnam Chaturbhujam Prasannapadanam Dhyayet Sarva Vignopashantaye Yasya Dvirada Vaktradhyaha Parishadhyaha Parasatam Vignam Nignanti Satatam Vishwaksenam Tamasraye Gurur Brahma Gurur Vishnu Gurur Devo Maheswaraha Gurur Sakshat Parabrahma Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Anjananandanam Veeram Janaki Sokanasanam Kapi Samakshahantaram Vande Lanka Bhayankaram Shri Rama Rama Rameti Rame Rame Manorame Sahasranama Tattulyam Rama Nama Varanane Shri Rama Rama Rameti Rame Rame Manorame Sahasranama Tattulyam Rama Nama Varanane Shri Rama Rama Rameti Rame Rame Manorame Sahasranama Tattulyam Rama Nama Varanane Yatra Yatra Raghunatha Kirtanam Tatra Tatra Krita Mastakanjalim Bashpavari Paripurna Lochanam Marutim Namata Rakshasantakam. So Parasurama was talking to Rama, challenging him either to lift and break the bow that he had in his hand or engage in a fight with him. And he was explaining that whether the fighting is the best time to put the time to good use, but he was saying the significance of the fight has to be looked into. It may be for the progress and welfare for the world, and all that he was explaining. And just the way sometimes when we eat food, we grind it between our teeth. That does not mean that we are hurting and harming the food that we are eating. So like that, sometimes fight has to be taken and looks for the purpose behind the fight. And then he continued. He said, well, Rama, we are right now in the middle of the road, standing right here, halfway through the journey. It is not proper to keep on indulging in talk, mere talk, and standing here. Now let us get into action, Parasurama said. Let's get into action. Now we must start straight away. Tell me, either string this bow and break it in the process or fight a duel with me. Now this was the call from Parasurama. Now Lakshmana was fuming with anger when he heard this and the challenge of Parasurama. He was about to intervene with a very hot words, when Rama quietened him. And Rama told him, Lakshmana, this is not a matter that concerns you, for the question has been asked of me. Therefore, I myself have to answer. It is again good manners for you to come between us. Now leave me to handle the situation. Now when Rama spoke so affectionately and softly and gently to Lakshmana, Lakshmana desisted. He hesitated. But then Parasurama started laughing at Rama and ridiculing him for not accepting the challenge that he threw at him. Then Lakshmana could not control himself any longer. He shouted, He said, "Oh Bhargava, this is not much of a talk for him who broke the bow of Shiva. To break this little bow that you have in your hand, why do you challenge Rama? This is a Brahminic weapon. It is just a blade of kusa grass. That's all it is. I myself can break it in a trice, effortlessly, even while playing with it. Why, for this petty task, why do you ask Rama? I have no need to transfer the assignment to Rama," he was saying. When Lakshmana said these words, Parasurama became even more angry. But Rama took it absolutely coolly and calmly. He smiled at Lakshmana and then he pacified him by soft speech. But the more enraged Parasurama became, the quieter and more restrained was Rama's reaction. Soon, Parasurama just lost control of himself. That's what happens when you become angry. If you don't control it, the anger controls you. Then he started speaking without any control. Free rein he gave to his tongue, so to speak, with pouring abuse. When he was talking like this, in such powerful and violent manner, people around were getting afraid. Dasaratha was very afraid. The maids and the servants who were all there, they hid themselves so that they are not in the Parasurama's line of sight. All the 4 sections of army that Dasaratha had, they all shaking with fear. And the various pandits were all terrified hearing Parasurama speaking like this. Sita, however, watched this scene with amusement. She was amused and she was not in the least agitated. And she was not either concerned at all. In fact, she was talking to Urmila, Mandavi and Srutakeerti and instilling courage and strength in them and telling them, what can a jackal do in front of a mighty lion? He said, Rama is a lion. This Parasurama is just a jackal. That's all. And then when Bharata and Shatrugna saw that Rama was reprimanding Lakshmana to keep quiet, he should not have spoken like that, then they themselves kept quiet then. They didn't advance. Otherwise, they would have joined into the fight with Parasurama. But they were waiting for Rama's permission before they could act. And Vasishta, of course, knew the past and the future, and he was the least disturbed. He realized this was all a scene in the divine manifestation. So he was absolutely silent and unshaken. Then Ramachandra spoke with profound calmness. He said, "Oh Parasurama," he spoke so lovingly. So only an avataram can do that. You are a Brahmin. Now for a Kshatriya, you are an object of worship. That means he's saying, I must worship you, is what he's saying. Now on the basis of Varna. Now, not only that, you're also related to the most revered Vishwamitra. So I don't think it is proper to kill a high caste Brahmin like you, nor is it proper to aim this holy weapon against you. I don't think it's proper. Now you yourself just said that this bow belongs to in the Devalokam, and now it has destroyed so far every enemy and city and fort against which it fought against, and then it can overwhelm and defeat anything that comes its way. And so when a weapon is like this, is it not sheer waste to make it unserviceable? Well, when I break the bow, it becomes unserviceable, unusable. Is it fair to make such a powerful weapon unusable? So now I'll give you 2 alternatives. You select. Rama spoke. You select. Now, shall I use the bow to prevent you from moving about on your feet? It means basically saying, shall I kill you, basically. So, shall I use it to prevent you from moving about on your feet, or shall I use it to prevent you from attaining the higher worlds that you have attained through your tremendous austerities and tapas and penances and all that? When Rama spoke so calmly and gave him a choice, then Parasurama was even more angry, enraged. his eyes became red, and he rushed towards Rama, exclaiming, "What are you prattling like a child?" When he coming like that, Rama took hold of the Vishnu bow that was slung on Parasurama's shoulder with a laughter, this is nothing, very derisive laughter. Rama just took it. That hurt Parasurama's pride even more. But then what happened? No sooner, immediately after the weapon reached the hands of Rama, then Parasurama became absolutely weak. He lost all energy and vitality and the strength. But Rama, in turn, shone in splendor. Such a splendor, such jyoti was around Rama that no one could stand that blaze. Rama stood there as if countless lamps were lit on that spot, on one spot, and radiating blinding light in all directions. See, when the authentic owner, the wielder of the Vishnu bow, Narayana himself, held the bow in his grasp, the bow also acquired effulgence and a tremendous light that came from it. It was shone and beautiful light came out of it. And then the Devas gathered in the sky and showered flowers on Rama holding the bow. And the tremendous divine, angelic music, auspicious sound of music filled the sky. Meanwhile, Parasurama now was smiling so happily. He said, "Rama, did you see what happened? Now I've experienced the delight of the divine manifestation. To be able to see the divine manifestation is not easy. Okay, I've seen it. I've seen your divine splendor, the Jyoti, the Atma Jyoti we're talking about. And now in the past, I won this region on the earth and gave it as gift to Kasyapa. After Kasyapa received that gift from me, he said, I should not enter his dominion again. He said, that means now that all the kingdom and my earth that I won belongs to him. He said, don't enter here. But even if you do, you should not spend a night here. That's what he said. Then he pronounced a curse. That's what he said you should not do. Now, Parasurama continued. He said, Rama, now it is getting dark. And so I can no longer be present here. I have to hurry fast to the Mahendra mountain, Mahendra Parvatam. And, through my austerity, tapas and penance, I have won Devalokam. I have learned the heavenly regions. But, break this bow now, Rama, and break with it all the power that I had won. Whatever I have is now yours. Oh, Rama, watch this. I am offering to you the power earned by me. So saying, he came near Rama and embraced him with both hands clasped firmly round him. At that moment, what happened? 3 facets of divinity. The Deva Tanmay, and there is 16 aspects of Deva Tanmay. 3 of them that were present in Parasurama, and then they came out and merged in Rama. Then Parasurama addressed Rama further. He said, Rama, the world cannot easily understand the mystery of the divine. Now even those like me who have earned great power through vairagyam and through detachment and through tapas and penance, and we think we rely more on our spiritual achievements, ignoring the influence of the divine strategy of Vishnu. Everything happens only according to Bhagavan's Leela and Bhagavan's will and Sankalpam. Nothing moves even a dot from what Bhagavan's Sankalpam is. We think we are doing this, whether it is spiritual achievement or monetary achievement or societal achievement, educational achievement. Doesn't matter. Everything happens only because of Bhagavan willed it so. That's what Parashurama was telling Rama. Then he continues. He said, therefore now in order to reveal your divinity, your avataram, to the whole world. Everybody thinks Rama was just newly married and 14 years old and all that, a very valiant, very charming and extremely attractive, something extremely loving person. No, no, no. You are to reveal to the world your reality and your genuine power, your genuineness, who you are. That's why this has happened. Now I have given you all the powers that I've attained. And now, not only that, through this, I have now also proved to the world that you are the mighty Vishnu, the God, the one entity that is endowed with unique power, and who actually, the Ritam, the Tattvam Ritam, we say in Sanskritam, the Ritam, the dharmic principle that activates and supports the whole universe. And Rama, there is nothing that is without you, that is devoid of you, and nothing that is not you. You are all, and yours is all. You are all, and everything is yours only. Now, I had the good fortune, Rama, to wield this divine bow for some time. Now, because of that, I earned fame and reverence and respect from the world. That is the merit I won. This is my offering. And then Parashurama disappeared. Now, what exactly happened here? Let us look. When Parashurama challenged Rama to come for a fight, he said, Rama, you are very powerful enough to break the bow of Shiva. Now I will see if you are powerful enough to break this bow in my hand. When at that time, Rama actually folded both his hands and told Parashurama, I am not ready to fight with you. If you have any doubts, I will certainly clarify them, is what he was saying. However, Parashurama threw the bow aside and Rama picked it up, and he actually broke it at once immediately. Parashurama then fell at the feet of Rama. What is the inner significance of this? God has 16 facets. 12 were with Sri Ramachandra, and 3 were with Bharata, Lakshmana, and Shatrugna. This is a total of 15. Parashurama had the remaining facet. All this show was put up to surrender the remaining facet to him, only to offer to Bhagavan what actually belonged to him. Now, people have studied the text of Ramayana and they've listened to the narration of Ramayana. They think that Parashurama came to fight with Rama. No, no, no. This is not true at all. This particular incident took place to complete the 16th facet of Bhagavan as he took form in the form of an avataram. And so now Rama was completed in all the 60. That's why he shone in all glory, the effulgence that we saw earlier. And then let us continue. That is the inner significance of this. And if this event had not happened, the avatarhood of Bhagavan would not have been revealed to the world. Everything has got a purpose. And this is to show the rest of us, as long as we live, and the story of Ramayana, which will live to eternity, everybody will know, see, Rama's avatar, the divinity was revealed. And so that's the purpose behind this. And then, what did he do? He gave the bow and the arrows to God Varuna, absolutely smiling and undisturbed facial expression. This is what Bhagavan, it's inscrutable is the face of Bhagavan. When you look at an avataram, you cannot figure out what the avataram is thinking. It's absolutely inscrutable. It will be prasanna vadanam, smiling, or whatever it does, you cannot figure out. And that very smilingly he did namaskaram, prostrated, fell at the feet of Dasaratha and Vasishta, and did namaskaram to them. Now in the meantime, Dasaratha, while all this was going on, he was actually shivering with fear. such a mighty warrior and king, Dasaratha, was actually shivering in fear, because when you see Parasurama like that, everybody became afraid, except the people that we saw earlier, like Sita and Vasishta, Rama, Bharata, Shatrugna, and Lakshmana. Now everybody else became afraid. And so when after this was completed, then Dasaratha became very calm. And he said, oh my God, the danger has passed. That was about to fall on my son, but now has passed. So what did he do? And now he was no longer worried. So he drew Rama near him, fondled him very affectionately, fondled his cheeks and hair and all that in many ways. And then he raised Rama, he put his hand under Rama's chin and raised his face to look at him. And then he could not talk. And for some time, then he said, oh, my darling son, I'm so lucky, so fortunate. I really was afraid whether I will ever be able to see you again. He said, but your courage, but your heroism is beyond imagination, he said. Then he praised Rama very much. But then Rama said in reply, and listen to this, such an important reply he gives. He said, Dharma has to win. Dharma always wins. Dharma has to win. Now, the victory, Jayam, is an inevitable concomitant, inevitable association, the result of righteousness. Together, victory and righteousness are one and the same. They're always together. In the preliminary, when you begin, a fight comes, a struggle comes, we are challenged in life in many ways. So in the beginning, it may appear, some fear, anxiety may set in, some obstacles might seem to be formidable. And then when these things happen, mind becomes weak. It starts doubting, right? And then the moment it starts doubting, it immediately starts painting pictures of defeat and failure and all that. This is all the mind plays the game. But instead of going before that, instead of surrendering to that doubt and fear and uncertainty and fear of failure and lack of success, whatever it is, that where one must turn the mind and fix it on the goal itself, and the goal being Bhagavan's lotus feet, regardless of what happens, right? Now, then you can never fail, never. Then failure is an impossibility. But people do not look into the depth of what Dharma's strength is. The strength of Dharma, people do not look into the depth of it, how strong Dharma really is. But people are carried away by, superficial handicaps and worries, and then so they give up the dharmic path and suffer. So what has happened, Father, is for the best, he said. Now I ascribe this to your blessings only. Then he fell at the feet of his father again. And then he told his father, the armed forces are awaiting your orders to continue the journey. And please kindly let them know, communicate your order to them immediately. Dasaratha was very happy. He said, why should we delay any further? Let us move. And let us go to the capital city and we'll seek to live there happily in the best manner possible, even though he said that Dasaratha was beautiful. And he said, grief and joy, afflict us one after the other. And, it causes distress and worries and anxiety to the person and his body. But let us go to Ayodhya and live there happily in the best manner possible. That means wherever we live, we must live happily to the best manner possible. The challenges will come, ups and downs will come. That's what he said. Then he called his ministers and gave orders, and then all the soldiers, everybody started moving towards Ayodhya. As they neared Ayodhya, one group of people went even faster. They were sent as messengers to the city, to the citizens, to tell them that the four princes were coming there along with the new princesses, the new brides. And this was a message from Dasaratha they conveyed. The moment the thing reached them, my God, imagine all the citizens of Ayodhya who were left behind, who did not join the Mithila party to go to Mithila and come back. They decorated and beautified the city, the streets, and in very attractive manner, in aesthetic manner. They started. What did they do? They planted trees, not planted. They put plantain trees were tied to posts on both sides of the road, and then from the trees they hung bunches of coconuts were hanging from those posts. Rose water was sprinkled on the street. The entire city was made charming and attractive and beautiful. Then musicians were playing. They took their positions ready to start their music. Fireworks were all collected and kept in different places, so that when the princess came, everything will be used. And then they waited with tremendous happiness and counting the minutes. And then they looked for distance. Are they coming? Are they coming? They were looking at a far distance to catch a sight of the royal group that was returning. Then the women were also there, waiting behind windows or standing up on terraces and all that. And so they were all peeping to waiting for the Dasaratha's retinue to arrive. Then Emperor Dasaratha entered the city of Ayodhya with his sons and their brides. The moment he came, that's a tremendous sound of Jai, Jai, and everybody shouted so enthusiastically and cheerfully. And women, all they did Mangala Arati, they waved the lamps, they threw flowers on the path of the procession with Rama and Lakshmana and Dasaratha and everybody else were coming. And they sprinkled more rose water, and the princess looked like bright stars. When the citizens saw the sight of these illumined, effulgent couples, coming there, they never experienced that kind of happiness before. And however much they looked at them, they just could not blink their eye. They kept on gazing. And not only that, it was so attractive, they were walking backwards while the procession was coming. They were walking backwards without taking their eyes off this fantastic darshan that they were getting. And then very soon this group was reached the palace, and as soon as they reached the palace, the Brahmins were all positioned there, and they started reciting Vedic mantra to invoking good fortune and prosperity on the newlyweds. And maids waved the Dipara, the Harati, Mangalarati, and then to ward off the evil eye, Drishti Parigaram, they put that little dot and all those things, and then they prayed to the daughters-in-law to come inside the palace. Now, at that time, what happened? One lady came. She came to Rama and said, she rushed to him and said, "Oh Rama, you are the abode of happiness, bliss. Don't we deserve your compassion and kindness?" She is asking him. Now, what has happened is all due to the goodness and the merits of your parents, she said. And so she sang and fell at the feet of Rama. Rama blessed her and then entered the palace. When they went inside the palace, what happened? Behind the private quarters, the queens, Kausalya, Sumitra, and Kaikeyi were there, waiting very eagerly to receive their sons and daughters-in-law. Then, of course, they sprinkled sandal sand and put flowers in the hair, etc. When the sons came, they drew them near and embraced them, fondled them, hugged them, and patting their heads and chins and all that, and blessed them profusely. Then the 4 sons and the daughters-in-law, they prostrated before their 3 mothers. Very important. Always humility. When they were prostrating, doing namaskarams like this, tears of joy poured down from the eyes of the mothers. And then the maids brought rice and boiled in milk in golden plates. And then the mothers placed a little bit of that food in the mouths of the newlyweds, and then persuaded them, compelled them to eat it. Then they gave them some milk to drink. Then they were taken to the Andapuram, inner apartments. And in the evening, the ladies from Ayodhya were invited to the palace for sharing the auspicious ceremonial welcome of the newlyweds. And that, with Swami's grace, we will continue on Monday at the same time. Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om. Samasta Lokaha Sukhino Bhavantu. Samasta Lokaha Sukhino Bhavantu. Samasta Lokaha Sukhino Bhavantu. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti.